Good evening, everyone. Toastmasters, any guests we have, visitors from other clubs. Welcome to our 2013 Fall Humors and Evaluation Speech Contest. I say let's just get started. So I'm going to start by introducing our incredible, wonderful President, Rhonda Whitaker.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Toastmasters. The mission of a Toastmasters Club. The mission of a Toastmasters Club is to create a mutually supportive, positive learning environment in which each and every member has the opportunity to learn oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and personal growth. Right. Now, tonight we're not doing our usual meeting, we're doing something just for fun. Something Toastmasters actually drool over. It's a contest. We get to compete, and we get to hear the best of what each other does. It's a good way to learn, and it's a great way to grow. I would like to mention that our regular meetings, for guests who have come tonight and didn't expect to see a contest, I would like to mention that our regular meetings happen at 7:30 on Tuesday nights. You could come back again next week if you'd like to see the table topics and prepared speeches in a more relaxed atmosphere. Greetings. Hi. I would like to ask our guests at this point to stand up and introduce themselves. Could we start with you?
Sure.
Just tell us your name.
Hi guys, I'm Samantha. I am a new student starting at Maharishi University, and this was recommended to me by a fellow student, so I'm here.
Thank you. Monty, would you like to stand up and just...
Sure. My name is Monty Comden. This is my second Toastmasters meeting, and I'm just checking it out. Heard there was a contest in town, and looking forward to it.
Thank you, Monty.
I'm Amanda Bartos. I was here last week as well, and I'm very excited about this Toastmaster. I think it's going to be very, very fun and exciting.
Excited to have you here.
Sean Johnson, I'm a guest of Don Watley out of Burlington, Iowa.
Thank you, Sean. On this side we have Stan. You brought a guest.
Sure. Yes, my name is Stan Kens, and I'm a resident of Fairfield, and I enjoy coming to contests because they're a lot of fun. You get to see your friends excel.
Thank you.
And my guest is Ashley today.
Hi, and I'm with Sammy. We're in the same class.
Oh, of course. I keep forgetting Dawn. Dawn, would you just stand up and say hi so people know who you are?
Hello, people.
Dawn Watley.
We are interlopers tonight, coming over from Burlington, and we're checking out the confrontation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Yes, we will. At this point, I'd like to ask everyone to turn off their electrical devices. We don't want any phones going off during the contest, disturbing the peace. People will be allowed to leave the contest during the 1 minute of silence when the judges are voting. That's the only time you're allowed in or out. So if you need a break, that's the time to head for the door. Gina, is there anything else we need to say up front here? Okay, I think that's it. Now I'd like to turn the meeting over to John LaRose. John LaRose. Please stay there, John. John is our chosen Toastmaster of the night. He's going to introduce participants and conduct the program. Thank you. Please help me warmly welcome John LaRose.
Thank you, Madam President. Thank you, golden speakers, honored guests, and viewers at home. Tonight is a special evening. We are having our fall contest.
It's very apropos that we have our fall contest during harvest season. All right, because for the last 6 months, our contestants have been outgrowing in their field of speechifying, technique, and other humorous things. And now we're going to rip them out by their roots. We're going to compare them to each other and give them, one of them, a blue ribbon. That's 2 blue ribbons, one for an evaluation contest we're going to have and one for humorous. So, what I'd like to do now is I would like to name the contestants for the evaluation contest. Now, before the meeting, contestants were drawn by lot to determine what order they're going to go in. The first speaker is Jeff James Shipley. The second speaker is Jyoti Raj Adhikari.
I gotta write them down.
And the third speaker is Jean Symington Craig. This is for our judges. So let me repeat that one more time. Number 1 is Jeff James Shipley. Number 2 is Jyoti Raj Adhikari. And number 3 is Jean Symington Craig. Now, for the evaluation briefing for the contest, let me welcome our Chief Judge, Will Burns.
Yo!
Thank you, Mr. Contest Chair. Welcome guests, honored dignitaries, and fellow Toastmasters. As Chief Judge of this contest, I confirm that we have equal judging representation for the club involved in this contest. The judges, timers, and ballot counters have all been briefed and are fully aware of their responsibilities. I ask the Chief Timer to please review the timing procedures for the contestants and observers and have a final check of the timing lights.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to our visitors and guests. There are 2 timers tonight. We'll be keeping an official record of each contestant's speech length. We'll provide green, amber, and red warning lights for the speaker. And each contestant is disqualified when the presentation time is less than the minimum time or more than the maximum time. I'll give the timings for the first contest, which will be our evaluation speech contest. Evaluation length is 2 to 3 minutes. A contestant will be disqualified for speaking less than 1 minute 30 seconds or more than 3 minutes 30 seconds. The green signal will be displayed at 2 minutes. The amber signal will be displayed at 2 minutes 30 seconds. The red signal will be displayed at 3 minutes and will remain displayed for the remainder of the time. There will be no warning if you've gone over your time. In case of a technical difficulty, we'll give you an additional 30 seconds. Back to you.
And
In case of light failure, go ahead.
Okay. In case of light failure, we will switch over to this form of signaling. So, green, amber, red.
all right,
Back to you.
thank you. As Chief Judge, I remind all of you in the room, please leave only during the 1-minute judging periods after each. The Sergeant-at-Arms will then allow re-entry during a subsequent 1-minute period. Additionally, there will be silence during this 1 minute. Please do not disturb the judge's deliberations. Thank you. As our president said, if you have any electronic devices, please turn them off now. Good job, you listen to your president. There will be no pictures taken during the contest, and they will be taken in the interview section following the contest. Any protests regarding eligibility or originality are to be brought to me or the contest or the contest chair, brought forward by the contestants or the judges prior to the announcement of the winners. Are there any questions? Seeing none, it's my pleasure to call back up John Morris.
Yo!
Thank you, Chief Judge Will. After the test speaker has given his or her speech, the contestants will be escorted from the room. They'll have 5 minutes to prepare their evaluation. At that time, the Sergeant of Arms will pick up notes from all but the first contestant. First contestant will then enter the room to give their evaluation. At the conclusion of that evaluation, the second contestant will enter the room during the minute of silence. The first and subsequent contestants may stay in the room. Are there any questions of the 3 contestants? Yes.
So the 5 minutes comes after we are sequestered in our back room and then comes up and gets the timer started?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
Correct.
May I say something?
Yes.
The evaluation contest will begin with a target speech. After the speech, the Sergeant at Arms will escort the contestants from the room to complete their evaluation forms. The Sergeant at Arms will come back in and ask the timer to time for 5 minutes. When the 5 minutes are up, the Sergeant at Arms will collect all the contest notes from the contestants and escort the first contestant back to the meeting. Notes will be returned to each contestant immediately prior to his or her performance. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mr. Toastmaster.
I will now announce the test speaker. It will be Stephanie Chambers. Stephanie Chambers' title of her speech will be Merry Script Reading App. That'll be Merry, M-E-R-R-I, Script Reading App. That's Stephanie Chambers. Stephanie is the director of Merry Mysteries, and she has written over 30 mystery party game kits. But recently she's had an idea for a software program and app. Tonight she's here to tell us about the fundraising campaign that she's about to launch on Indiegogo and why she hopes we will all support her in this endeavor. She wants some feedback after the meeting about how convincing her speech is, as it will be part of her video on Indiegogo. She wants you to pretend she's dressed up as Dorothy in the Wizard of Oz, complete with her red shoes and blue check dress. Please give a warm welcome to Stephanie Chambers as she tells us about her script reading app.
Hello Toastmasters, honoured guests and viewers at home. How many of you like going to plays? Well, why not, instead of going to a play, why not be in the play and participate and be part of the fun? What I'm going to talk about tonight is an idea I've had for a script reading app which will make this so easy. You won't have to memorise the lines unless you want to, and you can have a party anytime with a very minimum of fuss. Home. And this is my room, and you're all here. And I'm not going to leave here ever again. Because I love you all. And, oh, Auntie M, there's no place like home. That's a little bit. It'll be all much more automated than that. It'll pop up and you'll be able to just read the line. You won't have to be following along on your device because you'll be able to just relax because your phone will beep when it's your turn to read your line. The other advantage of this app will be for teachers. They'll be able to assign a particular character to a student based on the reading level of the student and the reading level required for that character. As a participant, you'll also be able to read your lines before the event, and if you want, you can memorize them, or if you're having some trouble, there'll be the complicated words you'll just be able to click on and find out how you're supposed to say them. And you'll be able to write notes so that you know, you might want to remember that, oh, I should say this in a real angry voice. So you might put a note or just a little angry voice icon to remind you to say that line a particular way. Another feature of the app will be that people who want to edit the play or customize it to suit their group will be able to do that. So there's lots of different things the app will be able to do, particularly if you obtain the paid version. The free version will come with Romeo and Juliet, and it'll be pretty much fully functional. With the paid version, you'll be able to upload any play you like, and there's so many free plays on the internet. Classic plays like The Doll's House, various old plays are available, but also more modern ones are available if you're willing to pay for them. The app will also work with my own mystery party games, of course, and if you buy one of those, you'll be able to use it with the app. So the aim of my fundraising campaign is to enable me to bring this to fulfillment, because apps are very expensive, especially when you have to write them so that any guest will be able to use any device they have. So I have to write it for iPhones, iPads, Android, and also people who might just bring a laptop. So it becomes a very expensive project. So that's why I'm planning to launch a campaign on Indiegogo, and I hope you'll tell your friends about it. And it won't be the kind of campaign where you just give money for the sake of giving money. You'll be able to buy things. There'll be perks, like you'll be able to get a paid version of the app. You could order it in advance, or a classic play formatted to work on the app. There'll be all sorts of things. I just want to also tell you a story. The reason why I'm so passionate about plays is that years ago, when I was a child, I decided I wanted to be a scientist. My father had also been a scientist, or wanted to be a scientist. He didn't actually get to be a scientist. They couldn't read his handwriting in school. Unfortunately, he failed and went back to being a farmer. But I'd had this idea to build plastic round houses, and so I decided I needed to become a scientist to develop the right plastic. So, but many years later, when I turned about 16, I had an English teacher who gave us a play we had to read in class about science and technology. It was a Greek play. And I went home after that and had to write an essay about how we saw science and technology affecting the world. So I wrote my essay, you know, for student, and then I thought I'd better read it. So I read what I'd written. And I was totally shocked, because here I am wanting to be a scientist, and I'm saying, oh, but all the pollution in the world was caused by science. All the wars, you know, more people were killed because of science and some of the inventions, atomic bombs and whatnot. So I got a real shock, because this play made me think and made me realize what I actually thought. And I realized I didn't want to be a scientist then. So it was a huge change, and it changed my whole direction in life. I actually ended up thinking about becoming an environmental scientist, and I did actually study a bit of science, but in the end I became a writer. So I contributed a lot of that to the effect of that play and the way it made me think. And I think plays, because they're often based on stories, they have a real powerful effect on us, and they can help us to learn things much more easily than any other means. Because we all remember stories, don't we? We're all gossips at heart. We're good at remembering stories. So it's very easy, and it's a great way, it's a fun way to learn. So that's why I'm passionate about plays, and why I really want to make them so easy for anyone to do, so that no printing is involved, no trees are chopped down just for the sake of a play. And I think it has real potential to change the way that schools are run, and the way that we all have fun. It's a new way, or it's an old way, but a way to get us having face-to-face time more easily, and we could have a play in 10 minutes if we all had the app. So I hope you'll look at my campaign on Indiegogo once it's launched, hopefully in a few weeks, and help me to raise the money for that. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Stephanie. Diane Denbaum, as Sergeant of Arms, will you please escort the contestants from the room? Timer, please put 5 minutes on the clock. Stephanie, would you like to come up so we can find out more about this?
Yo!
Stephanie, I have been coming to this for about a year now, and I am used to your accent, but for some people that have never heard you speak before, you have a bit of a southern accent to us Americans.
South, yes.
It's very south, right? Could you tell us where?
Yeah, I'm from Australia.
Okay.
Almost as far south as you can go.
Exactly. And as Americans, we love listening to the British type of, it makes people, accent, it makes people sound very intelligent. And you sounded very intelligent in the speech. What I'd like to ask you is, how can this Merry Reading app, script reading app, make us writers? How can it be easier for us to write with this app?
All right, you'll be able to, if you want to, you'll be able to use the app to edit plays, but also to write from scratch. I actually forgot to mention that point.
Okay.
So if you wanted to, you could use it. It'll be easy to rearrange lines and things like that. So that's one of its more advanced features.
Would you write on your mobile device, on your app?
Or you could write it on your website. on your
Okay,
page.
you write on the website.
But then you could use the app to test it with your friends.
Okay. And the app, it brings in the emoticons and what does it actually do? See, I'm a
All right, you're
little...
still not clear.
Yeah, I'm still not clear on
Maybe I
what it
didn't explain
actually
it.
does.
Well, it basically, there's lots of setting up. The app will allow you to send your invitations and assign characters and all of that sort of thing, coordinate who's going to say what. And if there aren't enough roles for everybody, it'll even split up a role.
Oh, so this is like if you get in a group and everybody has their script and their parts in the script.
Yes.
And they speak the script out and they actually, you can actually perform a play out of part.
Yes, but you know, people might choose to dress up as a character or they might not. And they don't have to memorize it. It's not like you're really going to, you're in front of a paid audience. It's just amongst friends, that's the idea. Or if you're wanting, could also be used by theatre groups just wanting to do a play reading, or by people wanting to practice a play that they're thinking of performing later, or in school classrooms.
That's very cool, that's very cool. So I can imagine a toga party doing Julius Caesar, Shakespeare's Julius Caesar, right?
That would be a great idea.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know, just party, the idea of party and togas and, you know, stuff together.
It's an American tradition, isn't it? The toga party.
According to the movie Animal House, yes, it is. So, one other question. When we were raising our children, I would buy 3 or 4 of the same book. And we'd all sit around in the living room and everybody would have the same book. And then we'd all read parts of my children and my wife, and I would read parts of the book. So actually, this is a very, it's sort of touched on something, yeah, that might help in education. So you mentioned education.
Yes, I mean, that's part of my focus is the education, because I think it'll be useful for reading. I was thinking more plays, but I suppose it could be used. Well, books are a bit hard because you don't know which part people are going to read.
Right, no, the plays are with the roles.
Plays are
Yeah,
for it. But, something I didn't mention also is that it can help people overcome shyness when they, especially if they put on a costume, they feel like a character.
Okay.
Reminds me of one of your speeches.
Right.
About shyness. So I think that's part of the thing I want to emphasize.
All right, and that's why you brought out The Wizard of Oz, because there are a lot of good roles in that play. Yeah.
Actually, that just came to mind tonight, actually, because I realized I'm dressing as Dorothy, and I was about to read a line from Romeo and Juliet, and then I realized that doesn't fit. I'm not dressed as Juliet.
Well, let's talk about that, because she actually, our star 10-minute evaluation test speaker pulled out. He had an illness, and Stephanie was recruited at the last minute. So this is actually a last minute, put it together, come up here and save the club. Actually, she was the only one that Rhonda could talk into.
She had said the night before she would help with anything at the contest.
Never say that. Okay. All right, that's good. Well, Thank you very much. Anything else you want to say about this? Why is it spelled M-E-R-R-I?
Oh, because that's the rest, my other business is Merry Mysteries, and
Okay.
it's M-E-R-R-I, so I just wanted
Is that how they spell it in Australia?
no. But I wanted to be different to
Well,
Merry
that's different.
Christmas.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Actually, we should be near our 5 minutes.
We are.
Okay. Okay, what's going to happen next is the contestant will be escorted into the room. Okay. Contestant 1 is Jeff James Shipley. That's Jeff James Shipley. Jeffrey James Shipley. Okay.
Ready?
Ready?
Did you give him his notes? Who gets his notes?
You coach? No, this is it.
Jeff James Shipley.
Fellow Toastmasters, honored distinguished guests, viewers at home, and of course the Stephanie Chambers. This speech really exemplifies why we're here. This is a powerful presentation. Not only are you communicating to an audience, you're asking them to do something. She wants them, not only their time and attention, she wants their hard-earned money. So, okay, now luckily she has a really cool product. She's offering to participate in a play. Okay, so how is she going to do this? How is she going to sell this? To get people to part from their money, she's going to describe the features of the product, and she did. She talked about how it'll be on their phone. She exemplified that. The notes will pop up. They'll be editable. Then you want to speak to their benefits. I mean, you need these people to whip around to the back of their wallet and whip out a check or their debit card so they can enter their computer as soon as they see this video. So she describes how it's going to benefit people. Teachers will be able to relate to their students more. She gets them to describe other benefits. She speaks about relaxing. There's going to be a relaxing thing. You can participate in the literature and relax. Now, most importantly, she speaks to their values. She's dressed up like Dorothy. She's saying there's no place like home. She engages the audience with a question, do you like plays? If they do, right on. That's a huge part of their life. Something that, if they're going to plays, it's, you know, something that's very important to them. They want to have the best play experience they can have. And also, I guess, so that's where I thought you could have kind of tightened up, is when you go on to the end, you spoke about, you know, how you want to be a scientist and you learn from the literature. I thought you could have tightened that up more. And when you come down to it, the ask is going to be the most important part. She's building up this whole presentation, and it's going to make or break when she asks them for money. And that's what I thought you really could have done a better job on. When you get this person, say, hey, literature is so important, we can help our kids learn more, we can relate more and learn about ourselves, have these plays handy. So I need you to have $24.99 up front, and since this is so important to our future and the spirit of the literature and the theater, I need an additional $50 so I can get on with this development right away. So that's why it kind of just got a little bit tighter, you know, because I felt you kind of got a little off topic when, you know, you actually said atomic bombs and whatnot. That was a phrase you used, and that was like so far off from my line of thinking of enjoying a play and relaxing and having this thing on my phone. But overall, I mean, it was very good. It sounds like a great, interesting product, and if you can nail this thing, I mean, this is really the power of public speaking. We're getting someone to do something. You know, we're getting up there, presenting our ideas to the world, and they're going to either support us or not based on what we say, and how well we can relate to them. So thank you for the opportunity.
have 1 minute of silence, please? Contestant number 2, Jyoti Raj Adhikari. Contestant number 2, Jyoti Raj Adhikari.
Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and viewers at home, and Stephanie. Oh, sorry. So you had a fabulous speech. You started with a very good smile, and you greeted the audience. So that was one of the very good things to start with the greetings. Viewers, audience, everybody. You're very clear on your purpose of the speech. So you first put what you want to tell about. You have two purposes. One was you want to tell about your new application, and the second one was about the fundraising. So we are very clear about your purpose. And you started with asking a question. That was a very good technique to pull audience quickly towards you. If you ask something, the audience will be eager to answer the question if you use that technique. That's a very good technique to start with. And you had a story somewhere about the end of your speech. So you related that story with your apps, how you came with that idea, and why you are fascinated with those app things. And the story is very good to have part of your speech. It's very easy to tell and put your views in a story. So that's a very good technique. I appreciate that technique. Everybody should learn that. I have some suggestions for you, but everything was good and fine. So I found most of the time your eye contact was this side, and it would be better if you have eye contact with all the audience as far as possible. And if you had a rapid eye contact, I say, like you are just moving your eyes. So I suggest you just tell something to one audience or a group of audience, and then move to another audience, a group of this side, and you put your views. Then that will be more effective. And another thing is a little bit about your gestures. So most of the time you're standing here and your hands were moving, but I saw a little bit of your body movement. So if you can practice a little bit on that, that would be great. And I was a little much confused, or I'd say you would have put more about your apps and Indiegogo, because that was a technical thing and I was not a technical person, but so it was a little harder for me to understand what actually was going on. Otherwise the speech was fabulous and you did a very good job. Thank you.
Timer, may we have 1 minute of silence, please? 3, Gene Symington Craig.
Fellow Toastmasters, guests, and viewers at home, that was an excellent speech, an excellent persuasive speech with strong organization. Really appreciated it, Stephanie. She started out, I really like the braids too, that really toned me in on the Dorothy theme. She right away started with a question, connected with the audience, how many of us like plays? Very effective. Her opening, she stated her purpose. This is going to be a speech about an app that I'm working on, benefits, how does it work, and she told us that's what she's going to be talking about. And then she proceeded to do that. She talked about the various people who could use this app, teachers and participants, gave us some examples. And then she said it's a fundraising speech. I'd like to raise money. This is an important project and I'm here to be raising funds. She gave us a personal story about the passion that she has for plays and how that came about. And she pulled it together with, that's why she feels this is important. It's fun to learn with plays. It makes it easy to access. She wants to get it out there as much as possible. It is expensive to put it out in all the different channels that she wants. But again, she's building up the importance of it for us so that we will contribute to her cause. And she concluded by saying, she asked us to participate in the fundraising and she gave us a good call to action. Excellent persuasive speech and well organized. Some suggestions I would have for Stephanie, if she gives this again in the future, would be following hand gestures. I felt her hand gestures were a little bit too much, going on. I would say go with more purposeful hand gestures. Decide where a hand gesture is appropriate and where it emphasizes your talk, and then leave your hands comfortably at your side. I was a little caught up in the hand gestures, and I like hand gestures. Secondly, eye contact. I'd like to encourage her to keep it more directed. Caught her a number of times looking down, kind of looking down here. There's really nobody to connect with down here. Nice carpet, make sure you don't step over, but keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Vocal variety would be the third area. I'd like to see a little volume and pitch. So louder, softer, higher, lower, just to give her some more vocal texture. And finally, staging. Would like to see her start from the audience's left, just as an idea. In her first position, what is this app? The features, the benefits, who's using it, the applications. Then move to a second spot in the middle and say, talk about the fundraising campaign and how that's going to work. And then I'd say move to the third place and just tell us that wonderful story she was talking about from her youth. And then as a conclusion, step to the front, center, now she's back with us, and give us that statement of this is why she wants to raise the funds and give the call to action. So those are the key points that I would recommend for Stephanie. Focused eye contact, more directed hand gestures, vocal variety, and better staging. But I love the speech. Look forward to donating.
Timer, may we have 1 minute of silence, please? When you complete them, please hold them up for the ballot counters to collect them. Okay. One more thing and then we can break. But we're going to have some fun right now because this portion of the program I'm going to conduct an interview with each of the contestants. Could all three contestants please come up, please?
Go ahead.
Okay. I have a little thing you can hang on your wall later when you get home, or you can impress the spouse. We can relax. It's over. All right? It's in the judge's hand. Whoever got paid off the most is going to leave with the blue ribbon, like I said before. What I'd like to ask is, though, Gene, if I could ask you first, do you feel this is a competitive situation? I'm going to ask every single one of them. I just want to know, is this competitive?
Yeah. Well, you know, I think that's so interesting you're asking that question because I was back there and I was thinking, this is like extreme sports. You know, it's like, and afterwards you get this rush of like, wow, that was adrenaline or something.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a cool thing. Yeah. Who would think that mild-mannered Toastmasters would be into, you know, daredevil?
Yeah. Exactly. Very good. Thank you very much. Jyoti, did you feel that you were in the fight of your life here? I mean, did you really, looking at the competition, which is pretty impressive, did you feel that, you know, this was it? You had to do it or die?
Yeah, certainly, because when it's a cycle is that whenever you are going for any competition, if something you said is somebody told you that you are gonna be judged. Then that's a human psychology that you will have that pressure always.
Right.
It's always harder than speaking on your own on your mirror. I mean, if you have audience in front of you and you are judged, you always have that.
It's the judging puts the pressure there.
on you. Either the audience is judging or the real judges are there.
Interesting. So maybe that's why there's a lot of stress that people feel they're being judged.
Yes, that's why. We dressed well because we are feeling we are going to be judged by the people in the street.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'll not wear anything.
Well, I'm glad you would be judged by a real judge. You did that here in this town. Jeffrey, do you feel the adrenaline of competition when you come to one? Because I know communication is a very big thing in your life. Okay, and in the political arena, it's whoever can get up in front of the House of Representatives and tell the biggest BS again is going to win. So this is important. So do you feel this is a competitive thing?
Absolutely, absolutely. You heard it from Jean Simonton Craig. She's a real competitor. So she's going to bring her A game, and Joe T's obviously been around the block a few times. So.
So when you saw these guys, did you say, "Oh my goodness"?
Well, yeah. Before I asked Jean how many evaluations she'd given in her Toastmasters career. Maybe 100, maybe 1,000, maybe 100,000. Wow. I think I'm giving like 4, maybe 5.
It didn't show at all. It's just you look very professional up there, in command.
Well, it is a lot of responsibility and it is a privilege, and so thank you for that compliment.
Yes, no, and I don't lie that often. Thank you for your participation. Thank you, Jeffrey. Simon Craig, a pleasure as always. Thank you very much. Another one to add another 100,000. So I think now, can we have a short break? Yes, we have a 10-minute break.
No.
5 minutes?
3 to 5 minutes.
3 to 5 minutes, and the Sergeant of Arms, it's your duty to corral everybody back here within 3 to 5. Thank you very much.
You have the unexpected pleasure of hearing from your treasurer, right? I'm not on the agenda. My name is Art Atkinson. I'm the treasurer of this club, and dues are payable. So if you brought a check, please give it to me tonight. If you didn't, please give it to me tomorrow, next week, or put it in the mail to me per the email that I sent out to everybody. Thank you.
Boy, if that's not a downer, I don't know. We've got to pay the bills. We've got to pay the bills. That's right, a humorous contest. Maybe that'll get us out of that funk of figuring out how to come up with $54. All right. That's interesting. Okay, we're ready for the humorous speech contest. For this contest, all the contestants may remain in the room. Earlier, the contestants drew lots to determine their speaking order, and I have the order. Number 1 will be Ryan Olson. Number 2.
Repeat it again.
Yeah, well, number 1 will be Ryan Olson. Number 2 will be Rick Starr. It's 2 R's. Rick Starr. Number 3 is Bert Shanowski. I can spell that if it's necessary.
It's with 2 stars.
2 stars. Oh man, this is going to be something. And then number 4, we have Alex Sakaya. I'll repeat that one definitely. Alex Sakaya. Judges are ready. Help me welcome Chief Judge Will to give us the contest briefing.
As Chief Judge of this contest as well, I confirm that we have equal judging representation. And actually, I'm going to do something I should have done last time. Will all judges please stand for a moment? Thank you so much for your service. Okay, we're going to see. I now ask the chief timer to give us the timing report.
Good evening. Dawn and I will be keeping track of the official speech time tonight. The speech time tonight is 5 to 7 minutes. You'll be disqualified if you speak less than 4 minutes, 30 seconds, or more than 7 minutes and 30 seconds. We will use the lights to signal when you're at 5 minutes. This is green at 5, the amber at 6 minutes, and the red at 7. And the light will be kept on for the remainder of the speech, but there will be no indication if you've gone over time. If there is some technical difficulty, we'll give you an extra 30 seconds, and we will move to the system of signaling. The time will begin with the first verbal or some indication that you're beginning your speech. Thank you.
I remind you that if you need to leave, please do it during the 1-minute judging periods, and then re-enter for the sergeant at arms the next 1-minute judging period. Additionally, please maintain a respectful silence while the judges deliberate, and continue to silence your electronic devices. No pictures until the interview portion of this evening. And I remind the contestants and the judges, if there's any dispute of eligibility or originality in the material, come to me or the contest chair, which would be John. With
It
that,
would be I.
it'll be
I'm the contest chairman. Yes.
point of order.
Come and tell me if anybody's cheating.
Run. She will not be kind. Any questions? With that, we are in order.
It is said that Chief Judge Will has a different colored judicial robe for every day of the week. Contestants, do you have any questions? Okay, contestant number 1 is Ryan Olson. His title of his speech is the ha-ha aha. No, the ha-ha aha. No, that's what it is. The ha-ha aha. Ryan Olson.
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, I think I had a little misunderstanding of the meaning of a fall contest. I was very excited when I heard about a humorous speech contest happening and signed up immediately because my life is literally a series of funny events. And so I have endless material. I'd like to share with you a few personal stories from my time in Germany while I was studying there. And the first one has to do with traveling to see this very large castle, many stories high, and my former wife was with me. We were married at the time, and so we're all in this large group and we're touring this castle. And we get up to the very top floor. We must be a good 100 feet in the air, and that's to the tree line. And we're going around, and there's this really large window, and it's the first time since we've been up to the top that we could totally see off this cliff. And so we all one at a time, we peer out. Wow, 150 feet down to the trees. Good Lord, that's crazy. And then everybody kind of moves along. I'm the last one peering over, and aha, an idea has sprouted. Because I love to do pranks. I don't often think them through very well, but nevertheless, it's fun to really pull a good one. So everybody starts meandering off to the far side of the large hall, and I realize there's a little tiny platform about 4 feet on the outside edge of the castle. I don't mind heights so much. I could just, hop out there. And, I bet I could like convince people that I fell out of the castle. and so that's exactly what I did. And I thought this is going to be funny and might even look a little believable. And so I quickly popped over onto this little platform. I got situated. I waited till nobody was watching at all, and I threw my arms over the edge of the windowsill, and I squatted down, and then I'm like, hey, help over here! Oh, I don't think I can hold on much longer! Please, somebody! Oh, no! Now, when you act on impulse, things seem like they're going to be well received. But what I didn't realize that, as spontaneously great actor as I was, everybody thought I had killed myself, including my wife, who now thought she was a widow. At that time, it wasn't funny to her. So, what only seemed like a few seconds or later to me, I popped up and said, "Hey, just kidding!" And this is where I noticed there's a difference between what men find funny and what women find funny, especially married women. So my wife was like horrified and furious, and the other women were like helping her walk as she was about to pass out. All of the guys that were in my class were like, "High five, that was awesome!" My wife didn't speak to me for about 3 days, literally. And now we're divorced. I'm not sure she still thinks it's funny. So in the rules of humor, you're never going to make everyone laugh at the same time, and you can get into hot water. The other story I'd like to share is really a story within a story, and this explains the enjoyment of the joke actually going beyond where you thought you were going with the joke. Because in the end, I always seem to be the joke. And, oh my God, 5 minutes already. Okay. A long story shorter, we're on the train, we're going with many students, and I'm in a little car, a little compartment of about just 8 of the closest friends in my class. We're all Americans studying Germany. And so it's like hour 8 on the train, and I think, okay, I'm going to spice it up. So I launch into this story about when I was 7 years old, and I'm alone in the house, and I come across a large ball of string. And I think, hey, I've got to take my clothes off and tie myself to a doorknob with all this string. That's what you do, don't you, when you come across a large ball of string? So... And so I've got all the students, my friends, they're all laughing. Oh, okay. So, I get that ball of string out and I'm unwinding things all over my room and I'm wrapping myself around the doorknob, the part that's the most fun people play with. And I'm wrapping and wrapping and wrapping, and all of a sudden I hear my mom coming down the hall and she says, "Ryan, are you okay in there? I haven't heard from you in a long time. Oh my God, Mom, I'm fine. And don't come in here. And so then she says, no, what? Oh, and then there's this look of shock on her face. And then I realized, oh, that's also on my face. And then she says, Ryan, it's purple. I gotta help you. No, you don't have to help. No, it's okay. I got it, Mom, I got it. So then she did have to help on the line. It was the right thing for a mother to do. That story was not funny to me for a long time later. Now I can laugh. And everybody else was laughing hysterically in the car. And then the last little bit to that story is that the German professor was in the next car over, and he came over and said, Ryan, you can hear right through the ventilation on these little compartment cars. I heard the whole story. I am now going to give you an A for your communication class.
Timer, may we have 1 minute of silence, please. Contestant number 2 is Rick Starr. Title of his humorous speech is The Great Mouse Hunt. That's Rick Starr, The Great Mouse Hunt.
Go!
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, viewers at home. The story takes place in sunny Southern California. My wife Sharon and I were living there. We were teaching meditation, which we both love to do. We lived in a beautiful area called Pacific Palisades. We lived a couple of blocks from the beach. Life was good.
Ha!
And one day, in an instant, our happy life was shattered. We were at home. Sharon was in the kitchen. I was in another room. And all of a sudden I hear this ear-splitting shriek. I run into the kitchen. What's wrong? I saw a mouse. I have to say, Sharon doesn't like mice. Sharon really doesn't like mice. After she calmed down, she made it very clear the mouse has to go. I thought, no problem. I'll get a mouse trap and Sharon explained to me, as much as she hates mice, she couldn't bear the thought of me hurting this mouse. So I was faced with the problem of getting rid of the mouse without hurting it. I made some calls, and I discovered a couple of things. One, there are traps called live traps where you can capture animals without hurting them. But these are for larger animals. These are for raccoons and stray dogs. They're not for little mice. The second thing I found out is a lot of people found it very funny when I told them I wanted to capture a mouse. But after a while, I found a live trap that would capture a mouse, brought it home, put bait in it, and the next day we had a mouse. I thought, I'll bring it outside, let it go, problem solved. Wrong again. Sharon explained to me that she was very concerned that the mouse would somehow come back into our house. Even if we brought it far away, there was something about our house the mouse really liked and would find its way back. So we had to bring the mouse far away. And so then I thought I had this clever idea, well, let's bring it to Beverly Hills. What a funny thing that would be. We could tell all our friends, oh, we found a mouse, we brought it to Beverly Hills. And the best thing was Beverly Hills was several miles away. The mouse could never find its way back. The only way the mouse could come back is if he took a bus. And where would the mouse come up with bus fare? So we took the cage, we took the trap with the mouse in it, got in the car, and drove to Beverly Hills. The whole ride, Sharon was a nervous wreck. She was terrified that somehow the mouse would break out of the car. We'd have a loose mouse in the car. But we made it to Beverly Hills, safe and sound. We found a small park, We got out of the car. I carried the trap out and laid it on the ground. And actually, I was feeling pretty good. We didn't kill the mouse. It was still alive. It was going to live a happy life in Beverly Hills with its fellow mice, its fellow rich mice, I guess. I put the trap on the ground, opened it up. The mouse looked around, looked for a safe place to hide, and in a flash ran up my pants leg. I let out this shriek. The first thing I did was put my hands in my pants leg because I didn't want it to go any higher. So there I was, holding my pants, jumping up and down, yelling. And Sharon, at the time, was of absolutely no use. She was laughing so hard she could barely stand up. So after a while, which seemed like a very long time to me, but was probably only a few seconds of holding my pants leg, jumping up and down and screaming, the mouse realized that he had run up the leg of a crazy man, and he ran down and ran away, happy to be glad to be gone from me. And the only thing I could think of after this was all over was all that I've done for this mouse, and he almost gave me a heart attack. So the last thing I thought of as the mouse was running away was, what an ungrateful mouse. Thank you.
Timer, may we have 1 minute of silence, please?
Okay.
Contestant number 3 is Bert Shanowski. Title of his humorous speech is Finding a Cure for Humor. Finding a Cure for Humor is Bert Shanowski.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, Ms. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters. Special guests tonight, yeah! And viewers at home. Hi, Mom. The talk I'm going to give tonight, the story I'm going to tell you, contains kernels of truth and nonfiction. I'm going to meld them together like nobody's business. But first, I need an assistant. Who would like to come up and assist me? Any volunteers? Come on up, Lynette! I've got a special coat for you. Please put it on.
This way?
No. All right, we can put this on wherever. And turn around so everybody can see you. And thank you very much for joining me. Now, Lynette, would you help me find a cure for my sense of humor?
Sure.
Great. Before we begin, do I have your permission to kiss you for good luck?
Sure.
Thank you, Lynette. Next, pull out of your right pocket. Here's a card. And please read it and show it to everybody. Say it aloud.
With the shop.
Not quite right, but close. And explain what it means.
With zealous. That's as close.
What kind of doctor are you?
I am a brain doctor.
Oh, perfect. Because Witzelsucht was discovered by a famous neurologist. You may have heard of him. He was an Austrian doctor, Sigmund Pink Floyd. It means Witzel is to crack a joke or wisecrack. Sucht is addiction. So what we really have here is the addiction to humor. And it usually accommodates
bad timing, terrible puns, and convulsive laughing or crying. I've had this all my life. I had doctors gone to specialists, and they've all told me to go to the same place. You know where they said to go? Famous clinic in Minnesota. Anybody hear of it? The Mayonnaise Clinic. I talked to Dr. Hellman there. He said, I would like to have you be a part of my study and help find a cure. And in a moment, I'm going to ask you for your opinion, because you are a brain doctor, and we'll get this going. So, obviously, you need a little help. A refreshment on your medical credentials. And what we're going to do is do a few flashcards from the mail order course, medical course, anatomy, bones, and body parts. And we're going to start with the funny bone and work our way up to the serious bone. You do have a serious bone in your body, don't you? Sure. It's a good thing because I don't. So we're going to, one of these cards has a special clue in it. It has a clue to the special remedy, the Miracle Whip cure from the Mayo Clinic. So in order to pass this course and become a doctor, you need to have your eye on the ball, your shoulder to the wheel, and your ear to the ground, right? And if you do that, you'll get right to the head of the class. And if you're at the head of the class, what you want to do is don't put your foot in your mouth, poke your nose into other people's business, or they'll want to stick their business in your nose. Don't think I'm pulling your leg, because give it 2 thumbs up and go after it tooth and nail. Now, the last person I helped with this course, he was a real bonehead with chicken feet and pigeon toes. And he thought it was a real no-brainer. He didn't have a heart for it, didn't have a stomach for it, had no backbone, and he had cold feet because it was all guts and no glory. He was lazy, didn't have any elbow grease. And I said, hey, listen, turkey. I'm going to give you a knee-jerk reaction because you're not going anywhere with this course. I said, this is the last time I stick my neck out for you because this guy's a real turkey. Okay? So now I'm going to ask you in a few minutes to come up with your own remedy with one of these cards. And what it's going to be is either a wishbone. What do you think she'll pick? She can pick a ham bone, or it could be a body part. Okay? So what I want you to do is give me a number between 1 and 20.
15.
15, excellent. There's about 15 cards right here. There's about 15 cards right here. There's about 15 cards right here, and I will mix these up, and we'll count out 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And to prove you're not cheating, we're going to count them again. 1 for the 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next card is your card. You came up with the remedy, cold feet. Now pull out the card, the envelope in your pocket. Reveal what the Mayo Clinic has in it. A little faster. Keep your feet cold. Isn't she amazing?
Contestant number 4, Alexander Sakaya. Title of his speech is For a Limited Time Only. Title of his speech, For a Limited Time Only, is Alexander Sakaya.
Oh, hi. Are you tired of giving boring presentations? Are your audiences falling asleep or worse, running for the door? Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, honored and distinguished guests, and viewers at home. I am here not to make you laugh. Instead, I have a solution to your presentation troubles. I have here a list of products that are going to revolutionize the way that you give presentations. Are you ready to see them?
Yeah.
I thought so. So let's start. My very first product, I gotta tell you, I'm nervous about this product. They've never before been seen. Okay, you are the first audience to see these products. The very first one was built by neighbors of NASA scientists. Next door neighbors. And it solves a very common problem that you see with a lot of speakers, which is that they will come up here and sometimes you can barely hear them. And they're kind of talking like this. And you can hear them. You're like, what? You can't hear them. Or they have the complete opposite problem, which is that they're walk into the room and they're too loud. Hey, how you doing? Whoa, easy there, buddy. To solve that problem, I have this revolutionary breakthrough technology, and it's called the volumizer. This little gadget can tune into the vocal cords of a presenter and increase or lower their volume to add vocal variety. You can use it on yourself. Hey, what's up? What's it going? Or you can kind of lower down to the appropriate level for the room. You can give it to an audience member, but I recommend you do not. Now some of you are probably thinking, Alex, the volumizer probably cost a fortune. Yes, it costs a fortune. It retails for $1.3 gazillion billion, but today is your lucky day. If you buy it today from me, it is only one easy payment of $19.95. Are you excited? Good, because we're just getting started. The next product is absolutely my favorite in the entire catalog. This product was built by friends of NASA scientists, Facebook friends. And it's a prototype, and I'll show it to you right now. It's called the Eliminator. You heard that right? Eliminator, and here it is. It looks a little funny, but don't be scared. I'm going to demonstrate to you how it works right now. So you take the Eliminator, you just kind of slip it into your neck right here. It just connects. And you might be wondering, what does the Eliminator do? Well, the Eliminator eliminates your uhs, ums, so's, you knows, and repeats. It eliminates your filler words so that your speech can be clean. How it does this is that it senses when you're about to say a filler word and it just corrects you into the right direction. A little warning, the Eliminator does use just a tiny little small electrical current straight into your heart. But don't worry. Do not worry. It has been thoroughly tested. Okay, we've had some doctors test it. Some of them that were in the mayonnaise clinic, birds. Okay, I had Dr. Pepper and Dr. Kevorkian test it out. They said it was great. They told me I had a killer product. It's so good to get positive feedback, you know? So I'll test it right now for you live. This is a prototype. It's the first time I'm testing this, okay? So I'll just hook it up here. And what you do is you just turn it on. You do a little, I'm going to say a sample sentence. And I'll show you how it works. Here we go. I was walking down the street when, oh God, okay, yeah. It's a good product. The Eliminator normally retails for $800 bazillion, but because it's your lucky day, it's also available for $19.95. Now, these two products can make you a great presenter, it's true, but there is one product, the last product I'm going to show you today, that has the potential to completely turn your world upside down and make you the greatest Toastmaster that has ever lived. No one has seen this product. And I'm going to show it to you today. Unless you don't want to see it. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay. For Toastmaster success, I present to you the Toastmaster 1000. This little guy, let me tell you something. An amazing piece of technology. You can become the master, the Toastmaster of not only the stage, but also the kitchen. It helps you start your day off right with a big breakfast so that you can present well on the stage. Really, really amazing product. I'm just, it's amazing. I mean, I'm literally shocked, mostly from the Eliminator, but this is a really great product. Now, you can get these products separately, it's true, but if you get them today, if you buy the Volumizer and the Eliminator and the Toastmaster 1000 for a one-time fee right now of $29.95, it can be yours. Show of hands. Who wants to buy it? Who wants to buy it? Good choice. I'll talk to you after the meeting.
Timer, may we have 1 minute of silence? Okay, this concludes the humorous speeches. We are going to have a few moments of hopefully more humorosity. I'd like to invite all the contestants up for an in-depth personal interview.
Ha! Ha! Ha!
Gentlemen, I use the term loosely because I know most of you. I have certificates of participation here for you and all of you. You did a fantastic, humorously funny job. You scared the life out of me. I thought you actually tripped. That was like a, what do I do now? You know, do I go help him, get his nose bloody or whatever? That was very good.
Go for the full on.
Full on?
Yeah.
What I want to ask is a very personal question, very personal. You're a humorous guy. You're addicted to humor. Does your wife think you're funny?
Sometimes.
Is it a funny ha-ha, or is it a funny guffaw? What kind of funny?
She's cracked a few ribs.
In left. Crack some ribs and laugh.
Were they her ribs or your ribs?
The voting is over. The voting is over. But that was funny. That was good. Now, Rick, I know your wife Sharon, and I know that she is tickled pink by you most of the time. Does she think you're a funny guy after all these years of being funny every day? And you still make her laugh?
Sharon is tickled very pink.
Very big.
She thinks I'm the funniest thing around. And even after all these years, with my sometimes terrible humor, she laughs at it. And her laughter is music to my ears, so when she laughs, it's a wonderful thing.
Wow, that's beautiful. Now, are you sure she's just not doing it to humor you?
She probably is. But I'll take that in.
Alex, I don't know your situation. Do you have a significant other?
Yes, no situation.
No situation. So you're situationless. Okay. So I'll ask you a different question. I asked you how I was going to pronounce your name because I took French in high school, not Spanish. So I didn't know that, as someone enlightened me, that QU in Spanish is a K sound. I took French in high school. I was actually so bad in French one year that the teacher let me take a test in English. True story, true story. She just wanted me to move on. So, Alex, do you find that people mess up your name? I have a difficult name. My name too, but do people mess up
All
your name?
the time.
Okay.
And in high school, actually, one time, I used to play tennis, and they would announce the tennis results over the intercom to the whole school every week. And every week it was a different kid. So I got to hear like 52 different pronunciations of my name. But one day, my coach wrote it out phonetically. So he wrote S-A-Y-K-A-Y-Y-A-H. So then that week, I heard a kid, he just saw the name phonetically, so he thought it was like Japanese or something. He said, Alex Sakaya.
Now, how I remembered your name is when you told me, I said it sounds like cicada.
Yeah.
So that, I just went with that.
A lot of people have that problem. I have that problem with Bert.
Your name's like mine. It's not spelled anyway the way it's pronounced. I'm sorry.
Most people who spell my name wrong
Yeah.
spell my first name.
B-E-R-T? Really? What is Bert and Ernie? Is that B-E-R-T? Does anybody know?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay. Okay. Ryan. Ryan. What can be said about Ryan? Ryan, I was thinking, halfway. It was a very funny story, that last one. I'm glad you got it in. But I was thinking that when that mouse ran up Rick's leg, I was thinking that Ryan, with his ball of twine, was going to be needed.
I do hire myself out.
Because, it sounds like your rapping skills are legendary. And I really didn't know where to put that joke, and that story. That story was very personal. Thank you for sharing. I mean, I've done crazy things on school trips myself. I didn't have to go all the way to Germany to do it. But yeah, that was funny. Do you have anything? Is your mother still alive?
She is, yes. That wasn't even the most embarrassing story.
I thought you may have another. I thought you may have something else. What would be the most embarrassing?
Oh, well, I'm not sure that in a professional environment, Toastmasters.
You mean you told us about the string wrapping around you?
Yeah, that was the same. That was a public story. Let's just say it involves a waterbed and too much time on my hands. Again, much older, the longer story, and yeah, more embarrassment.
I sort of see where this is going. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, with 2 R's. And the amazing Ryan Olson. Thank you very much. Big hand for you. Now, I think your fate has been sealed, the votes have been cast. I think you guys, we are going to announce the winners as soon as I see that door open.
Just take a 1-minute break.
But let's take a break.
Yeah, they were good. And I really didn't. I thought that Ryan, I thought that was it.
Okay, everybody.
Okay, we're back.
We're back.
We're back. I have just been handed the results of the evaluation contest and the humorous contest, speech contest. What I will do is announce the evaluation contest winners first. But I want to say that the second place is a very important position. If for any reason the first place winner cannot compete in the next division district contest due to a accident, a dead battery, the second place winner can compete. So please listen carefully. And the results of the evaluation contest . Keep going. Second place will be Jyoti Raj. Now for the first place evaluation speech. Oh, it's Gene Simon and Greg. Oh, there's more. In this folder, red, so I don't mix it up with the gray folder. This is the humorous speech contest. Again, I will tell the person in second place that it's very important. Stay by the phone. This could go all the way to the top. Where is the top? District. Second place, humorous contest. Rick Star with 2 R's. First place, to represent Fairfield, Golden Speaker International, Alexander Sikaya. Let's thank all of our contestants with a great round of applause. It's almost going to end, but we have some more fun. Let's turn it over to our Presidente, Rhonda Whitaker.
Thank you, John, for being a marvelous contest master and conducting an excellent meeting. I'm sad that I was out of the room during interviews because I did hear lots of belly laughs. There are some other people that we would like to thank tonight. Actually, all of the contestants. Let's give them a hand. I would like to thank Vera Rhodes and Lynette Vivacqua for being our ballot counters. our Chief Judge, Will Burns. Now we have the judges. I'd like to have all the judges stand up together. We have Art, Bob, Dan, Marilyn, Cindy, and Scott. Let's give them a hand. Thank you. You may sit down. Our Sergeant at Arms, Diane Denbaum and Rhea Saint, kept the meeting on time and under control. And finally, the members of the audience, our guests, and the viewers at home, thank you for joining our contest. We have Don Wadley as the guest. Oh, the timer. All right, I think my glasses must be clouded. I missed that line. All right, now, I hope to see you all at the Area 92 contest, which is October 1st. It starts at 7. It's right here in this same room. And we welcome all the guests to come back if they would like to see the finishing touches on our contestants tonight. Our contestants that won, please see me afterwards. We have some papers for you to fill out that will be going to the Area 92 chairman for organization purposes.